Improve your English skills. Why Mahatma Gandhi became a leader. South Africa, 1893 to 1894. After 5 weeks, Mohandas Gandhi arrived in Durban on the east coast of South Africa. In 1893, South Africa was not one nation, but several separate provinces. Durban was in the province of Natal, which was part of the British Empire. The British had large sugar and coffee farms in Natal, and from 1860, the British had been bringing farm workers from India to work on these farms. The Indian farm workers were very poor, and they were not allowed to leave the farms until they had worked there for 5 years. Durban was the biggest city in Natal. About 30,000 people lived in the city. Half of them were white people. 1/4 were Indian, and 1/4 were African. There were some Indian shops and businesses, many of which were owned by Muslims. Abdullah Sheth owned several ships and businesses and was very rich. He was surprised when he met Gandhi, who was wearing an expensive black suit with a pocket watch, as well as a black turban. It was unusual to see a suit and a turban together, because at that time Muslim Indians wore long clothes and large turbans, while Christian Indians wore Western clothes. Abdullah Sheth took Gandhi to the Durban court with his white lawyer. The judge stared at Gandhi and finally told him to take off his turban. Mohandas refused and left the court. The next day, a newspaper reported this story and called Gandhi an unwelcome visitor. Gandhi wrote to the newspaper and explained that the turban was an important part of his Indian life. Gandhi continued to wear his turban while he lived in South Africa. Abdullah Sheth began to understand Gandhi, and he told him about the difficult life of the Indians in South Africa. Abdullah Sheth had had an argument with an Indian who owed him a lot of money. The man lived in Pretoria, the capital of the Transvaal province. This province was not part of the British Empire at that time, and it had its own white government. Abdullah Sheth asked Gandhi to go to Pretoria to work with his lawyers there to try to get the money. After only a week in Durban, Gandhi bought his train ticket and began the long journey to Pretoria. He bought himself a first-class ticket in order to have a seat in a comfortable compartment on the train. The train stopped at Pietermaritzburg, the capital of Natal, and a white passenger got into the compartment where Gandhi was sitting. He looked at Gandhi and then called the guards, who asked Gandhi to move out of the first-class compartment because he was not white. Gandhi refused. He explained that he had a first-class ticket and that he had been allowed to get into the compartment in Durban. "You must leave the compartment or we shall call the police," the guards said. Gandhi still refused, and the police pushed him off the train with his luggage. Gandhi went to the station waiting room. It was 9 p.m. and there was no light in the room. It was dark and extremely cold. Gandhi sat alone all night, thinking about what had happened and about his future. He was 23 years old. Should he go back to India, or should he stay and fight against injustice? He realized that the injustice he was experiencing was caused by deep racism. That night, in the station at Pietermaritzburg, Gandhi decided that he was prepared to fight against racism. When he finally reached Pretoria the next evening, it was dark, and Gandhi did not know where to stay. An African American offered to take him to a small hotel. The owner gave Gandhi a room. "But you must eat in your room," he said. "The other people here are white, and they could be angry if you eat in the restaurant." Gandhi told the owner that he was beginning to understand conditions in South Africa. But later, the owner came back. "Please come and eat in the restaurant," he said. "The others do not mind." One day in Pretoria, Gandhi was pushed off the path by a white guard. Only white people were allowed to walk on the paths. Africans and Indians had to walk in the roads. And so Gandhi, through painful experiences like these, discovered that he wanted to fight injustice. He quickly changed from a shy young man to a confident one. In Pretoria, Gandhi met the Indian who owed Abdullah Sheth money. Gandhi realized that they would both lose a lot of money if they went to court, and he persuaded them to end their argument without doing so. This result made Gandhi very happy. He realized that he wanted to bring enemies together by working towards agreement between them, not by going to court. He believed that this should be the real work of a lawyer. While in Pretoria, Gandhi called a meeting of all Indians living there, and he began to teach English to some of them. He continued to read about different faiths. He became friends with Abdullah Sheth's lawyer, who who was a Christian. Abdullah Sheth loved the Muslim faith and the Quran, Karim, the holy book of the Muslims. He talked to Gandhi about his faith, and Gandhi read the Quran Karim. Some of Gandhi's friends wanted him to change his faith, but he wanted all faiths to grow. Gandhi had finished the work for Abdullah Sheth, and he was ready to go back to India when he read about the government's plan to take away the vote from Indians in Natal. Abdullah Sheth and his friends asked Gandhi if he would stay in South Africa in order to fight against this new law. Gandhi agreed and immediately started work. He called a meeting and asked all Indians in South Africa to sign a letter against the new law. The letter was signed by 10,000 people, and Gandhi sent copies to newspapers in India and in England, as well as to the government in Natal. All Indians in South Africa joined Gandhi, the poor farm workers and the rich men of business, Muslims, Hindus, and Christians. In May 1894, in Abdullah Sheth's house, the Natal Indian Congress was born. Gandhi chose this name because he had read about the Indian National Congress, which had been working to change laws in India since 1885. At the age of 25, Gandhi had become a leader. Like, subscribe for more contents. Experience of Violence, 1895 to 1898. Verbs, 1. Separate, to cause to move or be apart. 2. Grow, to increase in size or number. 3. Take, to get into one's possession. 4. Refuse, to decline to accept. 5. Report, to give a spoken or written account of something. 6. Push, to exert force on someone or something to move them away. 7. Offer, to present or proffer something for someone to accept or reject. 8. Discover, to find something unexpectedly. 9. Persuade, to convince someone to do something. 10. Sign, to write one's name on a document. 11. Vote, to cast a ballot in an election. Phrasal verbs: take off, to remove something or to leave the ground, for an aircraft. 2. Move out, to leave one's place of residence or work. 3. Get into, to enter or become involved in. 4. Push off, to leave, especially to start a journey. 5. Come back, to return to a place. 6. Take away, to remove something. Nouns: 1. Coast, the part of the land near the sea. 2. Quarter, one of 4 equal parts. 3. Provinces, territories outside of the capital city of a country. Sugar, a sweet substance used to sweeten food and drinks. 5. Farms, areas of land used for agricultural purposes. 6. Half, one of 2 equal parts. 7. Turban, a headdress worn primarily in South Asia and the Middle East. 8. Suit, a set of clothes made of the same fabric and designed to be worn together. 9. Visitor, someone who visits a person or place. 10. Argument, an exchange of diverging or opposite views. 11. Compartment, a separate section within a larger structure. 12. Luggage, suitcases or other bags used to carry personal belongings. 13. Racism, prejudice or discrimination against someone based on their race. 14. Injustice, lack of fairness or justice. 15. Conditions, circumstances affecting the way people live or work. 16. Experiences, events or occurrences that leave an impression on someone. 17. Agreement, a negotiated and typically legally binding arrangement. 18. Court, a tribunal presided over by judges. 19. Lawyer, a person who practices or studies law. 20. Faiths, strong beliefs or trust in religious doctrines. 21. Congress, a formal meeting or assembly. 22. Leader, a person who leads or commands a group. Adjectives: 1. Comfortable, providing physical ease and relaxation. 2. Painful, causing pain or discomfort. 3. Confident, feeling or showing certainty. 4. Holy, dedicated or consecrated to a religious purpose. Adverbs: 1. Extremely, to a very great degree. 2. Immediately, at once, instantly.